Thus the promise of God was maintained. Thus all true souls were called to the light, that their darkness be lifted, that their hearts be made whole. When Mary's babe smiled, he conveyed truth and grace, that their darkness be lifted, that their hearts be made whole. When Mary's babe smiled, he conveyed truth and grace. Then 3 wise men came from afar, guided by the heavenly star. Then 3 wise men came from afar, guided by the heavenly star. Christ, the light of God, had descended. Christ, the light of God, had come, that receiving him, all might be saved, all might be saved. 3 wise men came, guided by a star, to do honor and welcome the Christ born on earth. 3 wise men came, guided by a star, to do honor and welcome the Christ born on earth.
So always look, again, not for what people are giving you, but for the people who are giving it, for what spirit they're giving it with. That's all that matters. They could give you wonderful accommodations and wonderful everything, but if they don't do it with love, what does it mean? It's often an ego trip on their part. They could give you the least little thing, but if it's a lot for them, it's a lot, period. So what we found with those people were real princes in the spiritual teaching. And the same thing everywhere. The thing that makes a gift worthwhile is not what the gift is, but the love behind it. I remember once in India, we went to a little village, and their blacksmith had made us a very funky little medallion of our lotus emblem. And it was so sweet, because this village, they didn't have electricity, they didn't have anything. The blacksmith, in order to work, had this big bellows that somebody had to move up and down to fan the flames so that they could get enough heat to melt these things. And it was very primitive, but it was given with love. And how much more important that is. I remember in Bucharest as a child, somebody giving me an airplane, which was very, very lovely. I mean, they were a very wealthy family, one of the wealthiest people in Romania. And the airplane just had everything that a little model airplane back in the mid-1930s could possibly have. It was a wonderful gift, but I don't remember it with any sweetness at all, because it was not given with any sense of anything except, well, I've got the money and this is a social obligation, and so there you are. When people give you their hearts, that's all that counts. And when you give God your heart, that's all that really matters. Sometimes people say to me, what does God want me to do? What do you feel God would like me to do? And very often I have to say I really don't think He could care less. What He wants is that you do whatever you do with love. And that if you work in the garden or if you work at the retreat or so on, that's not the important thing. The important thing is that you serve him conscientiously and with love. Open up the channel of your heart. Be a giver, not from ego, not saying I am giving, but God, use me as a channel to give your love and your light to other people. The more you do that, the more you will find that you yourself are blessed by what you give.
Good morning again, friends. I'd like to start with a reading, an excerpt from the latest blog by Nayaswami Devi. This is about Swamiji and gift giving. Swami Kriyananda taught us an aspect of the art of giving. Being of an extremely generous nature, he was always giving others for their birthdays or weddings, or just because he wanted to share something beautiful. He told us, when I'm choosing a gift for someone, I ask myself two questions. Would it make the person happy to receive it? And would it make me happy to give it? If the answer is yes to both of these questions, then I'll buy it and give it to them. Swamiji also said, whenever I find something especially beautiful or unusual, rather than thinking, I must have this for myself, I buy it with the thought of giving it to someone else. This reduces any tendency towards attachment or greed. Swamiji has given us a beautiful affirmation. I give thanks to the giver behind each gift and to the one giver behind all that I receive. My gratitude rises with devotion's incense to the throne of omnipresence. These are very beautiful thoughts and a wonderful topic because we're in the season of Christmas and giving. And particularly, I'm thinking of Ananda because we do celebrate Christmas and many other paths do. And throughout America, everyone celebrates in one way or another. It has different meanings for different people. We've just had, or maybe you may be having, the 8-hour meditation. I was so touched by that meditation we had in Gurgaon on Sunday. It seemed to be full. I didn't look around to see, but it seemed to be. And I'm just remembering there was one young boy, 10 years old, who stayed the whole day. I just thought, that's a gift, to give to Christ, to give to God, to give to the masters. How beautiful. But Master divided the Christmas time into two parts, the spiritual Christmas, which is the 8-hour meditation, and not just that day, but the consciousness of Christ, of higher consciousness, of super consciousness, of light, of peace, of joy, of love, of spreading that around with everyone who you meet during this time. That's the real Christmas. And then Master said there's also the social Christmas. He enjoyed both. He enjoyed the social Christmas. He would play the part of Santa Claus, you could say, but he would give out gifts nicely wrapped to all the disciples. And he enjoyed that as well. And so at Ananda, we do both. And we have the gifts as an important part of Christmas because they really are in memory of the gifts that the wise men, the kings, brought to the Christ child, myrrh, frankincense, and gold. And so Christmas is a big time of giving. And I remember when I was growing up that we always thought there was Santa Claus giving us the gifts. And when we were little kids, we would write to Santa or whatever, leave a note for Santa or something. And on Christmas morning, we'd rush down and to the tree, and there'd be full of presents. And seemed like Santa had a deep intuition, or he read our notes, because we'd have just about everything that we asked for, whatever Santa brought there was always very special. And then later, of course, we learned that Santa was really our parents. It was our parents loving us, giving their love to us at Christmas time. And Christmas is a time of love, of giving, of appreciation, of a peaceful heart, of a compassionate heart. And so then I was thinking, just yesterday, some dear friends of mine called me. I hadn't seen one of them for a long time. A young man who I've known since he was 3 or 4 or something like that through Ananda. And he now lives in America, but he comes back every once in a while. And I make it a point to see him. But he and his father called me from a store and they were saying, oh, we want to get you this, but look at this color. Do you like this color? Do you like this size? Do you like this? And then they pull up something else. It was on WhatsApp video. Now look at this. Do you like this? Do you like this cap? And it was so much fun. But there was so much love there. Even if I don't get any gifts, I felt the love. And that's the most important thing. It's the love behind the gifts. And I'm sure I will get the gifts as well, but the gift was already given through the love and the joy that they gave. And I was remembering Swamiji at Christmas time. Everyone gave him gifts. People who lived there, people who were visiting for Christmas, people from afar who sent presents. And there was a mountain of presents for Swamiji. It took him hours to open each one, but he did. He often had help, but he would open the gifts and he had someone write down who gave each gift. And if the person was there, he would thank them. If not, he would write them a note. And there was an exchange. This is the point I want to make. There was an exchange of a vibration of love. And that was so sweet because he surely appreciated the gift, but oftentimes it wasn't something he could even use, but he really appreciated what was behind the gift, the sweetness and the love that we shared with him. I was thinking at this time now, it's, I was more thinking of in the US because Christmas is celebrated all throughout the US. And but it's kind of an interesting time because people are going through the motions. They go out, they've got lights on the house, you've got the candles everywhere, you've got Christmas music playing, you might be singing Christmas songs, you're going crazy at the stores. I mean, you're just buying, but it's sad in a way. I mean, it's good in a way. People are thinking of others and all, but it's the meaning of the time is often forgotten. And the meaning behind why am I shopping? Why am I buying these gifts? And often it's because I have to, or the person is my relative, I've got to give them something, or this person is my boss, I have to give them something, or what happened to I give out of love, out of my heart. And if you really, devotees and disciples and devotees, as you meditate more and more, you naturally want to give. There's a natural love that's flowing, and you think of your friends, and I love my friends. It's not just, oh, there's a friend, I've got a long list of friends. It's, I love my friends. I want to help them. I want to support them. I want to give them. And just like Daviji said in that letter, Swamiji was so generous. He was always calling you on your birthday or some gift. I mean, 250, 300 people, that's a lot of people to buy presents for, but he was always thinking of, how can I support this person? How can I show them I love them? How can I give them God's love? And I think that's such an important part of this time of year is how do we give the gift? What do we give and how do we give? And first of all, with how, it should be something that really is, if at all possible, I mean, no one's perfect in this, but try to give something that you really feel it from your heart. It's not that you have an obligation. If you do have an obligation, still try to still give it with your heart, with a prayer over it, with God's love, with thinking of the person, and it's so much better that way. I feel that all the time. I just want to give and give and give, but give what's from your heart, that I really feel to do this. And when you buy something, I love what Swamiji said. Think of what would they enjoy. And I know some people have called me and said, what would you like? You know, would you like this? Would you like that? And honestly, it just, that part isn't so important, but it's so sweet that they would ask. But think of what they would like, and also what would you like to give them? And you see, there's consciousness behind everything, and there's energy behind everything. And I honestly, the gifts that Swamiji enjoyed the most were the ones that had to do with attitudinal change. I mean, it had nothing to do with the material gift. And even if you gave him a material gift, everyone typically gave him a card and wrote something in the card about something that they want to change, or that he had helped them with, or going forward. What, do you see the difference? Rather than here's something for you, it was the thought of consciousness of love, respect, appreciation, honoring the person, encouraging the person. It means so much that way. And even if it's hardly anything, even a leaf, it says in the Gita, offered to God is appreciated if it's with the right spirit, with the right vibration. And so think of giving with heart, first thing. Secondly, I said already, but I'll reaffirm this, and think of what the person might need, as well as what they might like. But even if it's something that's not material, because you don't often have all the money to buy everybody you would like. I love what Master came up with. Maybe, I'm not sure, but for sure Swamiji did. Because that many people to try to buy 200, 300 presents is like, it's outside of the pocketbook. But he, or Master, I'm not sure, but Swamiji for sure said, let's give a Divine Mother gift. That you don't write, I gave it to you. You know, I mean, I was there so many years. You pulled a name, and the person didn't know who gave them the gift. You wrote from Divine Mother, and you received a gift from Divine Mother. It wasn't from Joe or Allie or whatever. And it's so sweet that way. And you might give gifts that way as well. You don't always have to put that you gave it, but think about what they need. And the other thing is, you don't have to give a material gift. You can give something that, kindness, encouragement, good thoughts, support to the person, praying for somebody. I mean, they don't even have to know you're giving them a gift. A smile to someone who you see is kind of a little bit down. And in the holiday season, between now, New Year's, Master's birthday, it's a wonderful time. It's such a blissful time. You can't help but being happy. But to share that with others who may be less fortunate, people who work in your house, or people who are at your job, or whatever, but just try to be a channel of giving, even if you're not giving anything from your hand, give from your heart, give from your eyes, give from your voice, give from your vibration, give from the peace that you feel, give from the bliss that you feel. Just feel, Master, bless people around me. And finally, give the gift. The most special gift of this time is to give the gift to God. Give a gift to Christ. Give a gift to the Guru, of whatever it is that you feel, that to meditate more, to serve more, to be more joyful, or to have less desires or less attachments, or be more friendly, or open your heart, or not nag your husband or your wife so much, or whatever it is. Just give a gift to Christ consciousness. That's giving a gift to yourself. Getting out of moods, getting out of worry consciousness, getting out of fearfulness. Give a gift to God, to Christ and the gurus, and you will feel their upliftment at this time of year. And that lasts a long, long time. Typically, if you really bathe yourself in the consciousness of this particularly sacred and holy season. Master said Christmas was the most sacred day of the whole year, because not just the birth of an avatar of Christ, but the birth of that consciousness that's within each one of us as well. So I wish you all a happy Christmas, and I'd like to give you a gift now, we would, from the Sangha, and I'd ask Natendra, yes, to show it on the screen. To each one of you, happy Christmas. And Natendra, I ask you to come on screen now with some questions that you might have.
Thank you so much, Dhyanaji, for the beautiful gift. Dhyanaji, the first question is, what gifts would people give to Swamiji, and what gift would people give to each other?
Well, to Swamiji, there would be anything you can imagine. I mean, a book, a shirt, a sweater, a shawl, a mala, from small gifts to large gifts. A lot of times it was something he needed. People would give money for that, or, there were so many different things. But he enjoyed it. He enjoyed the variety. I mean, everybody's so different. And he would open the gift, and then he would look for that person, and he would thank them right then and there. I mean, you can imagine 300 people in the room. So he would look for that person. And if he didn't find them, then he'd find them at some point, either in person or would write to them and thank them. He really enjoyed the love. And it wasn't personal. You understand that? And that's one point I want to make. It wasn't that he personally, oh, they gave me, oh, they love me, oh, they would. It wasn't that. It was that he was so grateful to have so many people there who loved God. And he gave the vibrations of love, of joy, in his heart, he gave the gifts to God. I mean, you could feel it. He was personal and impersonal, and he wasn't taking it to himself. And I think that's a wonderful attitude. It's hard sometimes. Kids, when they open the presents, and we used to just get on that bike or get on the skates and just go crazy, or kick the ball or whatever. But adults are kind of like that too now, and it's not right. I think when you receive something, just be in the self, like Swamiji said, just, yay, I got a gift, it's all right. Today it's there, tomorrow it's gone. It's honestly, just be grateful, not so much for the gift, but for the giver. And who's the real giver? It's Divine Mother. And sometimes you receive things you feel like, oh, I really needed this. Divine Mother knew I needed it. The person didn't know, but Divine Mother knew. And so you end up with something that you really needed. I've heard that so many times with people. Oh, I really needed this. Thank you. Or I've gotten things that I really needed. So the giver behind all the gifts, that's the most important person.
Thank you, Dhyanaji. Just two more questions. The first one is, what if I cannot afford to buy gifts?
Well, maybe you can find something around that you have, or I mean, any little thing. You can, flowers from your garden, or I mean, there's so many things. You can make cupcakes or cookies, or in the same blog of Devi Ji's, she said that one year they were short on money. I mean, still, you think of all those people you needed to give something for before the Divine Mother gift idea came up. So she said she made cookies. She got all the ingredients and she baked cookies. She put them in a nice wrapper, a ribbon, and gave them to everybody. So I mean, that's a wonderful gift because you're putting your vibration into it. You made it yourself. Anything you make yourself, some little flower arrangement or something, I just wouldn't worry about. I mean, it's wrong. The bigger the gift, the more I love you. That's just wrong. It's just not right. So, and the bigger the gift, I'm impressing you. here, I don't like it at all. So I'd much rather someone come with something that's full of love can't you feel it from the gift? You can feel it. The vibration of the gift from the person, you feel it. And I have to say, in Gurgaon, that young boy who stayed the whole meditation, I was so touched. That's a gift, isn't it? And then I brought him up afterwards. He came up the end and I said, how old are you now? And he said 10. I've seen him go to level 1, 2, 3, 4. He's just asking every time, can I have Kriya? Can I have Kriya? I said, just a couple more years. We'll work on the Kriya. He says, yes, I'm practicing for that. What a great soul. I think he's a saint. So this kind of thing, that was a gift to encourage him, and then he was singing the songs at the end along with the recordings. I just look for that and encourage it. That's a gift in itself.
Thank you, Dhyanaji. One last question. What is the right attitude with which we should be receiving the gifts?
I think give it to God, really. I mean, it's not, you can't be perfect all the time. I mean, you have to go step by step, but if you can receive things, for example, if someone gives me some rare or large or whatever gift, I put on the altar. If it can go on the altar, I put on the altar first. I leave it for some time. It's Master, this is from you. And then take it. But don't go, oh, look, oh, wow, look at all this money. It's wrong. So just, I think the best message, at least I heard it this Christmas more than ever before, was Swamiji's message of be in the self, remain in the self. Come out, socialize a little bit as you need to, and go back in the self. And how do you stay in the self? You have to keep your meditation going. Keep God consciousness, and then you'll feel that, yes, all these presents are nice, all my friends are nice, all the cookies, the cakes, the lights, the candles, it's all very nice, but it all comes from one source, God alone. And when you realize that, then you have a real Christmas. So I wanted to end with these words from Metaphysical Meditations, this book from Master on Christmas. All my thoughts are decorating the Christmas tree of meditation with the rare gifts of devotion, sealed with golden heart prayers, that Christ may come and receive my humble gifts. I will mentally join in the worship in all mosques, churches, and temples, and perceive the birth of the universal Christ consciousness as peace on the altar of all devotional hearts. And then Master says here, Christ consciousness in Sanskrit is Kutastha Chaitanya, the blissful consciousness in all creation that remains ever unchanged. Om Shanti Shanti. Happy Christmas to everyone. God bless you.